Hello and welcome back to Precious Memory Boxes. And today I have a simple and quick little project for you. I wanted to show how to alter an envelope from a printable kit. You know, many times we get the envelopes and they're beautiful just like they are, and you can just fold them and add ephemera to them and a few decorations. But I wanted to show you something simple you could do just to jazz it up a little bit or make it a little bit different. So I'm going to turn this envelope into a pocket. And this comes from the June 2025 Pink Monarch Prints Rosewood Estates kit. So you can check that out on their Etsy shop. If you're interested in this kit, it's very beautiful. They also have a monthly subscription kit on their website, and I'll put those links down below in the bottom if you would like to check that out later. So I'm just using my scoreboard and scoring on the lines just to make it fold a little easier. You can fold them by hand if you like, if you have a good eye and a steady hand. This just helps me. I tend to get them crooked. So let me go ahead and fold it. And we just need to decide. We're going to cut off either the top or the bottom here so that we can make a pocket out of this. And I think I want to cut off this one so that we can have this pretty one here. Let me grab my scissors, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut that on the line. All right, and then we also need to trim these up slightly. And this one's just a tad bit crooked. See if I can get it to bend more there. And then I'm going to quickly ink them just to help it stand out a little bit. I may have to re-ink that when I decide to trim that down, but we'll figure that out here in just a moment. And I chose to leave the pattern side. That way, if you want to decorate the back, you certainly can. Add some more beauty to it. So I'm trying to decide here if I want to trim this ever so slightly right there. And I think I do. So I'm just going to try to follow the natural line of this. See how that looks. Yeah, I like that. And let me try to cut off the same amount over here. Sorry if I'm getting out of camera, kind of pulling that up to myself so I could see it a little easier. Just cutting that at an angle. I probably won't be able to perfectly line them up, but we'll get close. That looks better. Now I'm going to take, let's see if my rounder is handy here so I can round the edges. Okay, not that one. What did I do with it? Okay, let me look here. There it is. All right, so I'm going to round the edges of these here. And then I'm going to quickly re-ink that. Need to just trim off that little piece right there. There we go. And then let me grab my ink here real quick, and I'll just re-ink a few of these edges. All right. And then we're going to grab our crocodile and trying to decide which way I want to do this. I think we'll have to do it that way. And let's see, we're going to punch a couple holes here. And so we're taking our envelope and we're creating a pocket out of it. All right. So let's see. There we go. And now I'm going to turn this over. Try to eyeball it so it'll be about the same. There we go. All right. And let's see, what colors do we want to use? Let's use the bronze color here. We'll press these down. If I can get my hands in there. Let me try it this direction. Hope everybody's had a good week and you staying safe, and if you're in a hot area, staying out of the heat. Oops. Try that again. There we go. All right, let me move this out of our way. Now I did copy on I used 110-pound cardstock to print the envelope on, and then I did print a neutral on the background so that when we close this, it would have this nice background. And now I'm going to grab, let's see what kind of string I have in here. I meant to bring in my other colored lace. So I have, you could use a lace like this. This is a chiffon. You could also use a string. This is baker's twine. But I think I really love this. And what we're simply going to do is we're going to feed it through here. There we go. And then we'll feed this side through here. I apologize that the table is shaking. There we go. And now we can simply just pull that down and tie it. You can tie it in at 2 knots if you want. You can tie a bow, whatever you like. Let me do them this way. Maybe they'll end up the same length that way. All right. All right. That looks beautiful. If you don't like the chunkiness of that, you could cut it in half, or you could also use some twine or string. But I kind of like that. All right, let's take and I grabbed some journaling cards that we could fill the pocket with. These are other pieces from the kit. I grabbed a like file folder from the kit, and each of these I've printed a neutral on the background so that you could, easily journal on them. I also have a field notes tag here, and then I've got some other pieces here. We have this beautiful card, so I'm going to add that to the back. Kind of hard to see our card here. Maybe we'll move it to the front so you can see all the levels. There we go. All right. Now you can keep embellishing these. You can cut the hole, add some string here. We can stamp on this here. And then I'm just going to add a few little ephemera pieces to the top here and maybe on the back. All right. We've got a ticket here. Let's see, which side do we want that on? I may add it down here. I'm not going to glue it, but I'm going to run the glue across the top edge of this. So if you decide you want to fold that open, you can definitely do that. So we're just going to glue that upon there. And let's see, we need something for this side. We can do the butterfly. Yes, I like the butterfly. Let me ink the edges. And then we may change out the ribbon here, even though it's pretty. It's a bit bulky after I've worked with it here for a few minutes. So I think we may change this out for some twine. But that's one beautiful thing you can add to it is ribbon or lace. So let me take that out and we'll add some twine in just a moment. All right. And then I'm going to go to the back and we'll come back and add the twine. And I just want to add, now you could add a piece back here so that if you're giving this as a gift, when you flip it, it would have something back here. And then I just want to add a couple other little pieces of ephemera here. Let's see what all we have. So I think I really like these two pieces right here. I'm just going to ink them up real quick. Add them to the back. I hope on maybe Sunday or Monday, I will have another haul video for you. So if you want to come back and check that out. This is like a signature. I'm just trying to decide if I'm doing it right side up or I think it goes this way. But come back. It's a Whatnot haul. If you're not familiar with Whatnot, it's an online live auction site. And I'm actually going to be selling some craft items on there this Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Time. If you're into crafting, I'll leave my link down below for that if you want to come check it out and see how that works. And there is a code that you can use for $15 off. If you're new to Whatnot, you can get $15 off on my first show. They will give you that credit. Now you have to read Whatnot, and once you sign up, if you haven't signed up, if you're signed up and you've already spent money, I don't think you can use that link. But once you sign up, as you're signing up, and that, make sure you read how to use that bonus, that $15 bonus. All right, there we go. Yeah, I think that's a little better because we can kind of see what's going on more in our envelope. There we go. And this was inspired by a post I saw on Pinterest. I can't really remember the name right off, but I just thought it was another neat way to create a pocket and add ephemera, and a way to use up, another fun way to use envelopes in your printable kits when you get a printable. So thank you for joining me today. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next with a haul. Thank you for joining me, and have a lovely day. Bye.